I'm Richard Ryan and welcome to SuRRvival Gear. This week's episode, we're gonna build a fire. So one of the things you want to make sure is you have a proper bed for the light fuels to get your flame going before you start adding the more heavy woods and stuff that are eventually going to be your main campfire. Now I have a lot of different types of starters and kindling that you can take and use here that are light. I have some random twigs and some brush. I have a fire starter stick where you can take and you shave little pieces off that will be your kindling. I have some dried shrub stuff here, and then of course I have the different types of stuff that you can buy, the wet fire, and then some of these fire starting cubes. Now the problem that a lot of people have with these striker style sticks is they don't shave off portions of it before they try to strike them. And what happens is you're just trying to throw a flame out and trying to make something catch, and it just takes more and more time to dry it out, or for some of the magnesium shavings or whatever it is that you're striking to fall off into the bed and eventually create a flame. So one of the ways you can help facilitate that is by taking a knife and shaving portions of them off. Another thing you do is shave off portions of the stick. These things work really well if you take and do the exact same thing and just break it up a little bit. And you just want to make sure that your fuel is light and aerates, and then it'll generate a flame that much faster. So now that we got a little bit of a base here for the demonstration, the different types of strikers that I have is the Swedish fire steel. It's a very small, inexpensive striker. It has a little rape whistle there off to the side. It's ergonomic to your hand. You take and you put your thumb there. Whenever you go to strike, you get a nice flame off. Well, you get a nice strike off of it. You get some decent sized sparks. The Gerber Bear Grylls model that I have here has like your Morse code for SOS on it. The base of it actually pops off, and you can take and you can store some type of tinder, a wet fire cube. This one has a nice ergonomical grip on it as well. It's got a little indentation on the base of it for you to take and put your thumb. It has a little indentation there for your finger to go in. That way whenever you get a strike, you can put a lot of force onto the stick and so once you get this one going, it generates a fairly decent sized spark compared to the Swedish fire steel. So for the sake of the demonstration, I'm going to show you the Coleman as well. It's a little more difficult whenever you have a flat blade like this versus those where you can take and really like put your fingers on. It takes a little more effort to get this one going. This is where it comes in really important for you to shave off portions of your striker stick. That way you have something on there whenever you do shoot your sparks out onto it. There's more down there for it to catch on fire because they're extremely flammable. And it only took, what, 2 strikes for that to catch on fire. The magnesium gets the embers going there, lights the light fuel, and then you take and put more on top of that. You drop that down. Then you'd have a nice little fire, and then you start putting your heavier stuff on there. So here's my 2 cents on the Swedish fire steel, the Gerber Bear Grylls fire starter, and the Coleman magnesium striker. I absolutely love Swedish fire steels. These things are so convenient. You can take and put these inside of one of your little survival kits, the little mini ones in a sardine can. You can keep it in your truck. It's very, very light. It's easy to pack. The Gerber Bear Grylls model, I don't know if it's going to hold up as long as the fire steel, but it generates a really, really intense strike, a lot of sparks coming out at it. What I really like about the Gerber and the Swedish fire steel is that you can control the direction at which the sparks are going to go. With that Coleman there, they kind of go out everywhere because of the way that the blades are in it. But with these, you can really focus your strike forward. Now, as far as the Coleman magnesium striker is concerned, this one's going to be a little bit more of an advanced user striker, I guess you could say, because you're going to want to shave off a lot to be able to get this thing to generate enough sparks to ignite them and then start your fire. Now, not everybody is going to have that difficult of a time with it. It takes a little bit of practice to be able to use these guys, but in my opinion, I think you'd be better suited to use the Swedish fire steel or the Gerber Bear Grylls fire starter. Now, as far as the price is concerned on these guys, they're not that expensive. The Swedish Fire Steel is anywhere from $10 to $20, but the Gerber stuff you're gonna pay a little bit more for the Bear Grylls name and for the Gerber name. So just know that whenever you're making your decision. But I can wholeheartedly recommend something like the Swedish Fire Steel if you just need something really cheap to throw into your quick kits. Anytime that you're out in a survival or camping situation where you need to start a fire, make sure you follow all the proper safety rules. Make sure that your campfire is put out before you leave so that you potentially don't start a wildfire. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you pull that trigger on the subscribe button. What I want to know from you this week is, what do you want to see next? Don't forget new episodes of SuRRvival Gear every single week right here on TechFeed. See y'all next time.